Good morning, Prairie View Christian Church. Today is Wednesday, December 30th, 2020, and I'm happy to report that this is your final midweek update of this year. So, not too much to announce in terms of events or happenings here around the church. Again, it's the holiday season, and so most of our typical meetings and offerings and gatherings have taken at least a week or two off. That includes the men's breakfast. We will not be meeting tomorrow, as you may have already suspected. Normally, we would be on during that 2-week pattern that we have, but we will not be meeting, not tomorrow, but Friday the 1st, New Year's Day. We will not meet on New Year's Day. So we don't really have a whole lot of announcements in terms of regular gatherings or offerings here at the church, but we do have a big announcement with regard to Sunday morning. You might not realize this with all the hustle and bustle of the past week, but our services for January 3rd and January 10th were still kind of up in the air in terms of whether or not we were going to have people here in the room. We had an in-person service on Sunday the 20th, we had an in-person Christmas Eve service on the 24th, and then we met in person this past Sunday the 27th as well, but we still technically had not decided about the 3rd or the 10th. Well, that has been decided, and we feel comfortable continuing to have people here in the room for at least the next 2 weeks. So that's Sunday, January 3rd, and Sunday, January 10th. So if you feel comfortable being here this coming Sunday or the following Sunday, if you are healthy, if you're not experiencing any sort of illness, if you've been taking precautions seriously Monday through Saturday, then we encourage you to be here this coming Sunday. We would love to have people here in the room worshiping here with us in person. We will still be live streaming as we have been for quite a few months now, but we would love to have people here in the room worshiping in person. So if you plan to do that, as always, we ask that you RSVP on the website. That RSVP link is in the same place that it's always been. If you go to the Sunday morning tab, the RSVP link is right there. You no longer have the Christmas Eve service RSVP to make sure you're doing the right one. There's just that one RSVP link on the website. So do that really quickly. It's simple. It's quite short. And RSVP for this coming Sunday, January 3rd. Again, we would love to have people gathering in the room. We're thankful that the COVID-19 numbers appear to be going somewhat down. Now, that could be a bit fluky because of the holidays and fewer tests being administered and results being slowed down. But we are cautiously optimistic that it might not be a total fluke, that maybe we really are starting to see a bit of a decline. And if so, we want to take advantage of that and have as many in-person services as we can responsibly and wisely. So, we'll be gathering in person here in the room this coming Sunday, January 3rd, the following Sunday, January 10th, unless something really changes drastically, and then we will keep you informed about future Sundays in the month of January as well. But we hope that's a piece of good news for you on a very cold and gray and rainy day as we close out the year 2020. If nothing else, even if 2021 is not going to be flipping a switch and everything totally back to normal, maybe it will do us all a little bit of psychological good to be out of the year 2020. So please RSVP for this coming Sunday. On top of that, it is worth announcing that our 2021 budget has been officially approved by the congregation. That was voted on from December 13th to December 27th. The admin team worked really hard to put that together, and the congregation approved that budget. So we are good to go for 2021. Thank you to all the people who voted and approved that budget. Thank you to all the people who give to make having a budget even possible for this church. And we look forward to using that money well in 2021. And of course, we encourage you to pray for our leadership, pray for our ministry team leaders, that they would use the funds that they've been given in 2021 in good, wise, God-honoring ways that accomplish this church's mission of making devoted and maturing and multiplying followers of Jesus. So, thanks for voting on that 2021 budget. And speaking of giving, this is a really quick, short, simple announcement, just kind of a heads up of sorts. over these past few months, we've had many, many people give to the church through non-traditional means. We've had people mailing in checks. We've had people contacting me or contacting Nancy and dropping checks off during the week. We've had people bring checks during the men's breakfast. We've even had a few people drop checks off in the mailbox. Now, the thing we want to draw to your attention is that, number one, we would really not encourage you to leave just open checks sitting in the mailbox. That has happened a few times where people just drop a check in the mailbox. It's not on an envelope or anything. If you do that and some random person is walking by the mailbox, they could get your check out and they could have your name, they could have your address, they could have your bank account number, your routing number, and that is not something that you want a random stranger to have. On top of that, our mailbox has also been known to blow open on really windy days. So if you just drop a check in the mailbox, even if it is in an envelope, there is a small chance that it could blow away and be out by the volleyball court somewhere, and we wouldn't know why, and you wouldn't know why that check didn't get figured out. So if you're going to mail a check, make sure that you actually put it in the mail. Put a stamp on it, put it in an envelope. That's the only way that they should end up in our mailbox. If there's some other way that you want to give, if you don't feel comfortable putting your offering in the mail, then of course, bring it here on a Sunday morning, put it in the offering box during the service, contact me, contact Nancy, schedule a time that you can swing by and just hand it directly to one of us, bring it to a men's breakfast, bring it to a small group, whatever makes sense for you. But we encourage you not to put them directly in the mailbox yourself, and definitely make sure that they have stamps and envelopes and that they actually go through the mail system. So, I think that pretty much covers it for this week. This coming Sunday, we'll start a new sermon series called Problematic Proverbs that I'm actually quite excited about. We'll be looking at some of the common cultural sayings, cultural folk wisdom that maybe we throw out here and there that may or may not be super helpful. This is not going to be a sermon series where we're just trashing these old forms of folk wisdom, these cultural sayings. There may be some good truth there. There may be some value in these sayings. But we at least want to think critically about whether or not these sayings that we throw out and apply and share with others, are they really good, biblical, sound theological advice? That's the kind of stuff that we're going to be talking about in the month of January, starting this Sunday, January 3rd. And for a quick preview, the problematic proverb we'll be discussing on Sunday is YOLO. You only live once. Find out more this coming Sunday, January 3rd. So, I think that covers it. Again, thank you for all your support, all your service, all your participation in the year 2020. Like you, I'm glad that 2020 is coming to an end and looking forward to what I hope, and I'm sure what you hope, and what we can all pray will be a somewhat smoother year for our church, for our nation, our city, our community, for the body of Christ, for our whole world. We hope 2021 will be a better year than 2020 was. So that's something to think about, something to pray about, but also thank God for getting us through this gauntlet that has been 2020. So again, I will see you next year, either on Sunday morning, make sure you RSVP, or I will see you next year when we do next week's Midweek Update. But that's it. Have a great rest of your week, and Happy New Year.